and let Purvis finish up AFC North. Um, and we'll see where we go from there.
Okay. Yeah, AFC North. I think it's gonna be a pretty decent division. I always like AFC North, but I got Pittsburgh winning the division at 11-5. Cincinnati coming in second at 10-6. Baltimore going 5-11, and Cleveland going 4-12. Basically, it's a two-team race. It used to be a three-team race, but Baltimore's on a decline right now. So it's out of Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. I don't trust Cincinnati. You shouldn't trust Cincinnati either. And boys, even if they make the playoffs, they're going to lose in the first round. Marvin Lewis' job is on the spot. Everybody knows that. But that's not even the big deal. The thing is, Pittsburgh has evolved, and like I don't know if everybody has noticed, but Pittsburgh used when Pittsburgh and Baltimore were fighting each other for playoff spots and trying to win the division, it was always a defensive like slugfest. Who's going to be the first one to score 14 points and win? Now you look at freaking Pittsburgh, they're putting up almost 30 points every week and saying, outscore us if you can. Ben, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and this year they're going to bring Sammy Coates into the fold since they lost Martavius Bryant. This team is ready to like explode, and it's the last 2 or 3 years. Even if they're not winning the division, you fear them more than you fear Cincinnati, and there's no reason that this is going to change this year. Cincinnati is all pressure this year. They're pressured that not only do they need to win the division, but they need to win a game in the playoffs. They have so much going on outside of just winning week in, week out, and I don't think they have any players that are going to step up to like make that change for them. Marvin Lewis I want to say he's a decent coach because he gets his team to playoffs. They've been in the playoffs 5 years straight, but at some point you have to decide, like, do you want to be this team who's always good, never great, or does the team need to rebuild and restructure? I don't know, but they're not making any waves. They're going to be Cincinnati, who you can expect. They're going to win at least 10 games. They either going to make wild card or they're going to win the division by beating if Pittsburgh has injuries of some sort and slows them down. Then you have Baltimore and Cleveland. We won't talk about Cleveland because everybody knows what Cleveland's going to do. But Baltimore is a team that I feel for every year because I miss the days when they were a team that could compete. But since they've decided that Flacco is the guy, they've basically given up their future. They said Flacco's our franchise elite quarterback, and he has not proven any of those words to be close to being true. And there's your downfall. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, who you put around him. He's not the guy, and they've committed to him. I'm gonna throw this out there, similar to how the Cowboys committed to Tony Romo. God damn it!
Oh.
You can't make a guy. You can't make a guy. You can't make a guy the center of your team, and he doesn't have what it takes to take him to the next level. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger came to Pittsburgh handing the ball off to Jerome Bettis. Now look at him. He's throwing wherever he wants to, whenever he wants to.
He's handing the ball off to Le'Veon Bell.
Hey. So you tell me Antonio Brown isn't one of the best receivers in the league? I mean,
no, he is the best receiver in the league. Yeah,
and they're still, like I said,
he's one of them.
They're scoring 30-something points a game, and Le'Veon Bell is playing half seasons because he's getting injured. Okay, so don't take it away from Big Ben. He is Big Ben. You know that if you got Big Ben, you got a chance to win. But do you know that if you got Joe Flacco, Andy Dalton, or Robert Griffin, that you got a chance to win? No, I don't want to throw him out there like that. I said I was going to leave Cleveland alone. Let me leave Cleveland alone. They got enough issues. But it just goes that's how the division is shaping up. Cincinnati is a great team. I think A.J. Green is losing his valuable years. He's getting that Calvin Johnson treatment because, I mean, or even more like Larry Fitzgerald treatment. He just needs somebody to come in 1 year, take him to Super Bowl so he can feel good about himself or something. But as long as Cincinnati believes that Andy Dalton is the guy, and even behind him, AJ McCarron, I think that's the name. Damn it, I can't get his name
Yeah,
right.
AJ McCarron.
Yeah, it's McCarron. It's one of them Alabama quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
That says enough right there for what's going on behind you. It's an Alabama quarterback. How much success has Nick Saban had with quarterbacks in the NFL? Not much. He's not a running back. So
Right.
I mean, Marvin Lewis is put together a pretty good team, but your central figure isn't going to take you to the next step, and there needs to be something done. I think the Bengals have they have a better roster than Pittsburgh does to be successful, but I think that there needs to be a coaching change so they can go to the next level. And then I still feel for Baltimore. I want them to be good, but Flacco will never let that happen. Just like the Cowboys and Tony Romo. But he's hurt this year, so it might go all the way. I know that's way off base, but I just had to throw it out there.
Man,
Gotta take a shot.
Yeah.
That hurts me. I hate to agree with you, but I do agree with Cincinnati. I think they've hit their ceiling, both with their staff and with some of their personnel, especially losing two of their receivers. And one of the things that made them the most dangerous last year was being able to spread out and go, three wide with three guys who, A, were huge, and B, could all catch the ball. Obviously, A.J. Green ain't going nowhere, but, you go from three guys for a fact to, all right, what else do we have? I love Marvin Lewis, but I think you might be right about there being time for a coaching change. I think that losing Hugh Jackson is going to hurt more than people realize, because he really did a good job crafting that offense around what Andy Dalton did well, and hiding what he didn't do well. And I think that,
I agree, yeah.
I think that we're going to see not necessarily regression from Andy Dalton, but he won't play the same way he played last year, getting the ball out so quickly, letting guys get the ball in their hands and make a lot of plays, the things that made them really good in the passing game last year. So they'll probably still be the second best team in the division, but they won't look the same. And like you said, if they make the playoffs, that's really where you're going to see the fall off. Pittsburgh's offense, I think, is one of the best, if not the best, in the NFL, and it's hard to slow that down. They're going to win games just because people can't outscore them, regardless of what their defense does. They've got a lot of question marks on defense. I don't know if Jarvis Jones is the starter outside linebacker or not, but they don't know what the hell he's going to be. The defensive line has new faces and question marks, but it doesn't really matter. They're going to score like they've been aiming for 35 points a game, and there's no reason to believe they can't come damn close. And that's going to carry them for a lot of games. Whereas Houston is the number 2 team for purpose. Baltimore is my second favorite team because I got a lot of family there. I spend time up there. And I want to be optimistic about the Ravens. The last 2 years they've had either key injuries or lots of injuries. Last year, everybody on their team was hurt. I think this year, if they can come back and be healthy, they will be a player in this division. But even with that, they have so many question marks on their defense, especially at linebacker, definitely in the secondary, that they need Joe Flacco, like you said, to be what they think he is. They need to be the same type of team Pittsburgh is, that comes up and scores a lot of points. And I don't know that they have that ability anymore. So unless they just surprise on defense, I can't see Baltimore going more than 7-9, which hurts me. But that's the reality. And I think Cleveland's going to be really interesting to watch. The offense is going to be entertaining as hell in my mind. Josh Gordon and Terrell Pryor. If they keep letting Robert Griffin get the ball out quick like he has been, 1 or 2 step drops to his first or second look, they're going to be pretty good offensively. The defense is going to be nightmarish. But Hugh Jackson's going to make some serious strides this year. And I think that honestly, RG3 may be their guy, relatively long term. Um, Cody Kessler, I think, is going to end up being a backup because he's terrible, and I don't think that Hugh can fix that. So I really think they are tying their ship to Robert Griffin, and we'll see how it goes.
This division doesn't really have much to talk about outside of Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, so I'll start there. Bell missing 3 games in the beginning of the season again can be a big loss. I personally think he's the best running back in football. I prefer versatility over just pure running, and I like my running backs to be able to do everything, not just run the ball. Antonio Brown is the best wide receiver. He's probably one of the best 5 or 10 players in football. Ben has really come into his own. He's a one quarterback. He's an elite quarterback, and that defense
by himself.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I don't think any quarterback can do it, but I think he's one of the ones that comes close for sure. The defense, I don't think the defense doesn't scare me as much as it does to some. Like, the defense was actually pretty good last year. They were about average, a little bit above, and with that offense, that's good enough. Like, you don't really need to have the 85 Bears when you're putting up 35 points a game. So that's good. Cincinnati, Dalton was an MVP candidate before he got hurt, to me. So I was definitely on that train. Again, AJ Green is a stud. Hopefully Jeremy Hill can cure his fumbling issues. And Giovanni Bernard, they still make a good 1-2 punch. Eifert is a stud tight end. He's hurt though, but hopefully he'll come back and help them. As far as the defense, their defense is still good. Yeah, I forgot. I think Reggie Nelson is still there. Pac-Man is still there. Leon Hall is still there. No, I'm sorry, Leon Hall is not still there. But Dre Kirkpatrick, they have a good overall team. So, but y'all mentioned Hugh Jackson and Robert and RG3. Like, RG3 still got sacked 5 times the other day in his last preseason game. I just think that's just a part of his DNA. Like, Hugh can do what he can, but on those routes that require the wide receivers to go deep, you're taking a chance at that point. In Baltimore is really nondescript to me. I would rather watch The Wire at this point than watching the Ravens play. I don't really see anything for me that says that they're going to be like, they don't have an outstanding offense. Their defense isn't as good. I just don't I don't see any Baltimore hype. Flacco's is below average to below average. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see anything there to make me think it's going to be anything other than Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. I would pick Pittsburgh to win the division, and Cincinnati getting a wild card.
Was that Baltimore dig a shot at The Wire? So shit.
No. I said I would rather watch The Wire than watch the Ravens. Yeah, okay, The Wire was awesome. Yeah. Okay. But The Wire's dope. Ravens, however, are not.
I'm pretty much in the same boat as y'all. It's rare that we all pretty much agree, but I mean, this division has been the same pretty much since the Ravens have won the Super Bowl. It's been a 2-team division between the Steelers and the Bengals, with the Bengals being the best team in the division, and I don't think it's close, but they just can't get over the hump. I don't know what it is. I think since 2012, really, before it was Andy Dalton holding them back. They couldn't get over the hump because of Andy Dalton. They had the defense. They had the receivers. They had the running back. They had the line. They had everything except for quarterback. Then Andy starts putting it together last year. Like, okay, this is the year. And then he gets hurt. And then they lose in the first round, as they've been doing. I hate to say this is a make or break for Marvin simply because the Bengals have stuck with him this long because the Bengals have been terrible forever, and now they have somebody who's been able to get them from being a nothing to a contender every single year. Like, I don't think people understand how hard it is to be a contender year in and year out, and that's what the Bengals are right now. So I want to say I have them winning, but I have them taking a step back. I just think it's their window is pretty much shut. Like Purvis said, AJ Green. When I remember when AJ and Julio both came out, it was both of you guys are unbelievable, and now it seems like AJ Green is getting left behind because he hasn't had a quarterback that can consistently get it to him where he's just putting out. They're talking more about Marvin Jones than they are AJ Green. Like, really? Come on now. I know there's been injuries and whatnot, but I mean, then you got the Steelers who that's hard to beat right there. That triplet they got over there with Bell and Brown. I'm not one of the people who thinks Antonio Brown is the best in the league. I have him as second best, but he is that dude. You really can't hate on what he does. And Le'Veon Bell is a monster when he's not smoking, or maybe the smoking helps him be a monster. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it works. Yeah, Ricky was a monster. Maybe more players need to start smoking. But Big Ben, I joke on him, but I mean, you can't hate on his talent. He produces. He produces. So, and then I don't got nothing to say about the Browns. I just hope they win 6 games, really, just so people won't be on RG and Hughes back. 6 games is all I want from them. Because I mean, the Browns are terrible, man. They've been terrible for a while, a long time. I mean, ain't nothing you can really do about that. Not in a year. But I say give them 2 years, they should be all right. And the Ravens are the Ravens. Like y'all said, once they gave Flacco that money, it was done. When Ed Reed is gone and Ray Lewis is gone, there was nothing else for that team. It was over.
Ray Rice gone.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Mr. 3.6.
Y'all shady, man. That ain't right. That ain't right, man.
Forsett has been decent, but he's no Ray Rice. I'm just saying.
No, he's no Ray Rice.
Start this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, Forsett.
Exactly why he's no Ray
After
Rice.
that one career year, Forsett went back to being Justin Forsett.
Went back to his real self. That makes sense.
Right. I think Baltimore's going to be interesting, and I'm trying not to talk too much about them. Just with the 2 rookies on the left side of the line, that's going to be one of those things where it's going to hurt a lot early. It may be good in the future, 2, 3, 4 years from now. But Flacco's blindside, and as a Redskins fan, and who had to watch us destroy Jason Campbell's confidence, this is the kind of stuff that really gets a quarterback messed up. When you feel like you can't trust those guys on your blind side, especially when you're talking about a $100 million quarterback, this will be a huge year for them for their future. Because if those 2 guys don't pan out, Flacco hasn't really been healthy. He hasn't done a good job of taking hits the last couple of years anyway. So let him be hits he's not seeing coming, and let him start rushing the ball like Jason Campbell did with us. And that team's going to be even more interesting for the next couple of years. I still trust in Ozzie. I still think they've got a lot of young pieces on defense, so they might be creeping on a come up, but their come up's not going to come this year.
I think Joe Flacco has reached the Eli Manning territory where people don't really criticize him, even though they probably should. I think that's where he's reached now. Like, Flacco's definitely not infallible. But people let him off the hook. Like, who's the backup quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens?
Ryan Mallett.
So who's the backup quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens? Just like the Giants, who's the backup quarterback? Is it anybody that has a realistic, credible threat of unseating them? Okay.
No.
All I was just asking. Pay me no mind. Don't pay me any mind.
Well, and on that, Flacco might do like Eli. Once that first Super Bowl wore off, and they're like, well, we can start criticizing him again. He won another one, so maybe Flacco will do that.
Don't say Eli won another one though. I mean,
Eli was
on a team that won another one.
No, Purvis don't.
Quarterback all time. So
Look. Now Purvis wants to acknowledge team. Come on, man. Like you the main one talking about individuals when now you want to acknowledge team. All right, man. I can't do it.
I'm not giving Eli Manning any credit. I just can't give him any credit. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm not mad at you. I just
Eli is terrible. Terrible.